Hi folks, how you doing? Russell True Results 303.com. Check out the website, link in the description box, Mind, Body, Spirit, Fitness. Put in the healing back in health. Follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. Links down below. Alright, True Crew. So here we go. Coming at you today with a video on why you should train in a fasted state. Right? I think we've got to understand that as we as humans have evolved over time, we have overcome great adversity, right? They kind of go off of that feast or famine type mentality. And I think in reality, that's truly what it's been, right? There's times where we've ate a lot of food, and there's times where we haven't. And we've got to understand that in those times when we didn't have much food, Band-Aid's all off crazy here. When we didn't have a lot of food, that didn't prevent us from going out and hunting and finding food, right? That actually gave us more motivation to get up and move and get food, right? Or there's this concept I've read about a while back where they say, people say fasting is bad because during that time frame when you fast, your testosterone goes down for men. So that's where they will say that's a bad thing. But then they said they only do the research during that time of actual fasting. They never do the research of what happens after the fast when you start to consume food again. And they said with that time frame, then that's when we get that super high testosterone hike. Once the body is out of that fasting period, and it's not, and the research that I saw when I heard it was, it's not because all of a sudden now you've reintroduced, because if I remember correctly, it was a higher spike in testosterone than you had before, even before the fast. Right, so we've got to understand that this is a time in this fasted state that our body is able to recover and eliminate a lot of toxins, right? And so now I went off on a little tangent there. The reason why we should train fasted, in my opinion, is, first of all, you haven't carved up, you haven't done anything. So once again, it's almost that same concept of maybe being on a ketogenic diet to where your body is able to attack those glycogen stores. They're suppressed. And now we're able to attack the fat. And that's how I see it when we are training fasted. Right now we're able to attack those fat cells and get those extra calories, because that's all fat is on the body, right? Those are stored calories. So now we're able to tap into those reserves and start to use them for energy. Right? So that's number one. Second reason why I think it's what's best is because when you're out there, right? So my boss and I don't know if you watch my Ironman training vlog, because I'm training for my first Ironman, my first half Ironman. And my boss and I last week, we went for a 3-hour workout. And that's because I suck on the bike ride. So it ends up being a 3-hour workout because the bike ride takes longer for me. So it was a 2-hour bike ride, which consisted of 30.5 miles. And then we ran 5.5. So it was a 3-hour workout. I did that completely fasted. I didn't, we woke up in the morning. I met him at his house at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30. I had just had some water, some coffee, and that's all we did. We got back, I didn't take any water for it. So we did our 30-mile bike ride. We came back to his house. I changed real quick because I had on the padded shorts for the bike. And then I just put my hand under the faucet in his restroom, drank about 2 little handfuls, how much you can get doing that. And then I went back out and we ran 5.5 miles. And that's all I had for that 3 hours. I didn't feel bogged down. I didn't feel depleted. I didn't feel anything. I felt great during the workout, to tell you the truth. At one time I think I felt kind of trying to cramp in my quad hamstring when we were cycling, but it didn't fully cramp. And then when I was running, I didn't have any of those issues. And my boss, he actually cramped when he was running. So he's like, oh, I probably need more water, blah, blah, blah. For me, I was perfectly fine. And I felt great. So why I think we should? Because, of course, when you're performing the Ironman, right, that's going to be, when I'm doing that, I still have to swim. That's not even half of my run. And that's not even half, that's a little over half of my bike ride. And that was 3 hours. So that means the event itself is going to probably take 6. So, of course, I'm not going to suggest you train for 6 hours fasted, well, race day anyways. I wouldn't, in my opinion, I would experiment with that outside in my own, training. But once again, it's training during these difficult conditions because you never know what's going to happen on the race. Of course, for race day, I want to be fueled to the max and I want to be, in tip-top shape in every way, shape, or form. But we need to train in these difficult situations because you never know. Maybe you don't plan correctly for nutrients out there. You run out of water. You run out of food, but you've been training your body to deal with these harsher conditions. And since we were able to deal with these harsher conditions during training, you're going to be able to deal with them better when race day comes. So I think that is, in my opinion, a great reason why you should be training in this fasted state, right? And I've said this before, when it comes to intermittent fasting and all these different things, your body's going to be able to adapt. 6 small meals a day doesn't work for everybody. You can't fit that into your lifestyle. Research shows as long as you're hitting your calorie count, it doesn't matter. Yes, at the beginning, if you're used to 6 small meals a day, when you're trying to convert and switch over to 2 meals a day, 1 meal a day, you're going to have difficulties during transition. But once your body adapts to it, you'll be fine. So there is that transition phase where we'll have difficulty, but in reality, your body will adjust to whatever you give it. So there you go. There's the facts. Why you should train fasted. I think at the beginning, it's going to tap into some of those fat reserves and use those unwanted calories that we do not want. And then from there, you're training for the worst possible scenario on race day, game day, right? That's the same for me. When I first started exercising a lot, started losing my weight, I would work, and this is when I was still playing hockey, so I'd work, and then on hockey days, I would make that an upper body day. So I'd do like back and shoulders, chest, abs, arms, whatever, and then I would go straight to the rink. Excuse me. I'd go straight to the rink. Excuse me. Another one coming. And use that as my cardio. So I would literally go to the game after lifting weights for an hour and use that as my cardio because I always tried to get in 1 to 3 miles after my workout for cardio. And I did fine. There were times where my triceps would spasm. Like they would be jerking and twitching a lot, but I never cramped, but they would definitely be twitching and spasming a buttload on a chest tricep day. But that's what I did, and I didn't underperform. I felt great when I was playing. So food for thought, why you should train fasted. Start to experiment with it. See what happens, right? If you're doing it, like for me, you don't have to be doing the Ironman. What about a Spartan race? I did 2 Spartan, I've done 3 Spartan races. I've done their Sprint, their Super, and their Beast. Right? This year, right after my Ironman this year, I have the Spartan Beast in Breckenridge. And in doing that, I did that one last year though. And I took some water with me at the beginning, and then I just used their water stations, right? I mean, the last 2 I did with one of my client's friends, my client/friend, I didn't take any water. I just used the water stations. They had 6 water stations. We were out there running at the Fort Carson Army base for, 3-4 hours. I just drank water. I had some of those gummies. My buddy likes to bring those gummy packs, and those things made it worse. So I just just do it without it, If they say we should eat like our ancestors, live like our ancestors, well, in reality, there were times when they had to do these things fasted. So, once again, I hope this helps. It's food for thought. True crew, right? Let's get going. Let's get motivated in life, and let's make sure that we are conquering all tasks that are in front of us. So, follow my social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. Subscribe to this channel. Share and like these videos.